Alright, so I'm going to go over, because a lot of people don't really go over this, there's a lot of moves you can use with the lapel, and a lot of people in jiu-jitsu think that the lapel can't be used for self-defense, or it's a gi only sport jiu-jitsu technique, when it's really not true. And real quick, I'm going to go over stuff you can use the lapel for that I like to use it for. The big one is the lapel arm drag, coming like here or here and here, coming across, breaking them down, and then I can, foot on the hip, use this to choke, shoulder lock, or arm bar, and then I can also use this to take the back. But other things I can do, I can bring this up here, neck control. I can come around over the shoulder, specifically just for a better angle that way. Keep your posture. Coming over, I can come through this way for chokes. Come here, set up baseball. Chokes this way. I can also use this to set up for like better sweeps, scissor, push, all that. So then take that off. So then what I want to go over is something like nobody really ever goes over, is how you can utilize the gi techniques with everyday clothing. Big thing, a lot of people think in jiu-jitsu that the gi techniques are not applicable for the street, and because in the street people don't wear gis and this and that, so it's not really a good self-defense technique, and that's just not true at all. The way I can utilize, I'm just going to go over a couple ways you can utilize the gi techniques, specifically lapel techniques, on a person with a regular shirt. So what I want to go over first is the lapel drag. Now to utilize the lapel drag, what I want to do is I want to bundle this shirt. So most lapel techniques require you to bundle the shirt in some way. So I want to get a grip, just my regular gi grip, and I'm just bundling and coming through here and feeding. And then what I want to do is I'm breaking his posture here, and this is just kind of helping me break his posture. So this is one that I really like, is you bundle this as tight as you can and then come across, pull him down with your legs and come through. And then if I can get this long enough, I might be able to get this choke here, but it's going to be pretty hard. What I want to do for the difference between street and gi techniques in sport jiu-jitsu is in the street I don't really want to rely on my gi chokes too much, because in my opinion it gets dangerous. If this is a life or death situation, or a rape situation or something like that, I don't want to rely on something like that. I want to just control the guy's position here, control him nice and tight, and make sure that he can't really aggress on me in any way. And from here I'll just contain the head, and I can go straight for the eye gouge here. Now the biggest thing when I'm going for the eye gouge is I want to keep space in my fingers. I don't want to do this, because this I can actually break my fingers and it's less accurate. So if I just, I don't even have to look here. If I just shove my fingers in his eyes this way, it's going to do the trick. And you don't really need too much pressure for that. The other thing is I can just contain the head, and palm up to the nose. You got elbows, all kinds of good stuff here. So just controlling the person in general, and then striking from there. You just want to get them to give up and keep them away from you. So this is one really good one. Another one that I like is if I'm pulling him in, or say this is more of a rape self-defense situation, this person might already be in the position where I don't have to break them down. And what's nice about this is I can go and fake like I'm taking the shirt off here, and all I'm doing is I'm bundling this back. And I can use the collar, I can dip my thumbs into the collar and use this to get here and set up the baseball choke. And then from there I'm just kind of keeping an open space so that the person's head's gonna like float forward. As the person's head floats forward, I'm just gonna turn my hips and go for the choke this way. So I can do this also without the collar. Like I don't need this collar here, depending if it's stiff or not, or I can't get a grip on the collar. All I need to do is bundle this here. I'll dip my thumb in this way and then shoot my hand under, and then I'm just diving through. And one thing, like I said, try not to rely solely on the choke. Now, this is a good choke for self-defense that it's going to be hard for people to block, but if you're going against somebody who's like really strong, I wouldn't rely solely on the choke to do the job, especially if the person is really big and really strong. Like, you can get it to this position and they might be able to like stand up and like, you know, throw this off or even rip the shirt in some cases. So what I want to do is I might even pull them, use this just as a control point, pull them down from here, and then what I'll do is keep this nice and tight and go straight for the eyes. Or what I can do too is I can go for this choke as soon as I feel like they might break out of it. As soon as they go to break out of it, I'm just gonna go shoot straight for the eyes. You know, that might be my second result. If I don't want to lead with the eye gouge, maybe I want to be nicer for whatever reason, you know, and just subdue the person, then I can always go back to this, release the grip, keep one hand so they can't go back all the way, but keep one hand and, you know, eye gouge. I'm gonna use like my head grip here and bring the hand to the eyes. So those are just a couple cool things. Another thing is a street fight type situation. If I want to tie the person up, I can come through this way. Another thing I can do is I can tie both arms here if I can get this across, if I get this across center line, this arm right here, I can also just drop this second hand and punch it right here. And what this does is it makes it harder for them to pull this second hand out. So if you try to pull that second hand out, it's gonna be tough for that. And I use my knee as well to keep that tight there. But then from here, I have elbows, I have strikes with this arm. I can also go, like I said, contain this position and just use that for a second so I can possibly get to the back here this way and attack from the back. So those are just a couple ways you can use the gi in self-defense.